I'm Patricia with Senior Connection Center. June 15th is World Elder Abuse Awareness Day, and we are counting down to World Elder Abuse Awareness Day. Joining us is Jessica Sams, Public Policy Manager for the Alzheimer's Association Gulf Coast, Florida chapter. Jessica, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, the Alzheimer's Association provides many services and resources both for individuals with dementia and their caregivers. Can you describe some of those services for us?
Sure. The association provides a wealth of resources. I would say number one, to be a source of information. A lot of people have a ton of questions, no matter what stage they are in the process of managing the disease. And I would say one of our greatest resources is our 24/7 helpline, which is always answered by a real person. So it's no automation, like you're getting someone on the line right there that can assist you, whether you're having a panic moment as a caregiver, not knowing what to do. If you're someone that's just recently been diagnosed and is looking for next steps, and exactly this question, what can the association provide me with? They are there to answer that. Like I said, 100% of the time, a real life person. I think it's one of the best places, a best starting point of getting to know the association and what we do.
Now, is there a difference between Alzheimer's disease and dementia?
There is, and that's something I just came on board with the association in January. So I myself have been learning a ton about that. You think of dementia as kind of an umbrella term. There's several different types, and Alzheimer's is just one. And one of the biggest things we try to do is educate people as much as possible, even if you're just a member of the community that maybe has not been touched by the disease and are curious about it. I love that you asked that too, because actually on June 12th, we have a research summit that's taking place from 1 to 3. And that'll be the start of the summit, actually, is walking through Alzheimer's and those separate types, and getting to speak with experts in the field and ask questions. And like I said, it is a research summit, which is always something fascinating to people about Alzheimer's. I work in public policy. We're always trying to see that pool grow. We know we need so much more information on it. And our VP of Scientific Engagement is going to give a research update on that call, and it's all virtual. But he's going to be talking about kind of where the research has been up till now, affecting this thing, and how COVID is affecting both the research and those living with the disease. So I would encourage anyone that is curious to kind of tune in. I think that'll answer a lot of those questions.
Sounds very interesting. Does someone have to have been diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease to receive services from the Alzheimer's Association?
Oh, no, not at all. As I mentioned previously, I think those that have been recently diagnosed often have so many questions about where to go next. And we are certainly a resource for them and their families to kind of figure out, what they can do tangibly, what resources are available in their community. But we are here for anybody that is curious. Maybe you've just had a loved one diagnosed and you just kind of want to know, maybe you're not even their caregiver, but you just kind of want to know what the next holiday is going to be like, or what's the best thing you can do to support them. We're there. If you have a question, like what is the different types of dementia? If you're curious, maybe you think a loved one is exhibiting signs, but you're not sure what they are. We are here to be a resource really for anybody and everybody in the community, no matter what question they have.
That's great. Now, what question have you been asked most frequently about Alzheimer's disease?
I would say, this will probably come as no surprise to anybody. I think with COVID-19, there was so many people just concerned and scared and not really understanding the disease and how maybe those living with Alzheimer's or dementia could be affected by it, how prevalent it was going to be. And, one thing we have found and really tried to convey both through the helpline and educational opportunities is just that it's not that you're more susceptible to get it. Dementia doesn't lead one to COVID, but there's certain behaviors that might make one more susceptible, such as, hand washing is one of the most important things, and people living with dementia might just forget to do that. So we've tried to provide very tangible things that caregivers can do. I mean, it's so little we can control right now, but they're saying if you go wash your hands, take your loved one living with a disease with you. Maybe just post a reminder at every sink in your house, just saying, hey, you're here, wash your hands. Things like that kind of make it really fundamental, but that's just, I mean, I think people were just really scared and worried and anxious, much like all of us. So that's been the majority of the calls we've been getting lately.
Okay. And we're all concerned about individuals with dementia being more vulnerable to abuse, neglect, and exploitation. How do
Yes.
the services that are provided by the Alzheimer's Association help in the fight against abuse, neglect, and exploitation?
That's a great question. And it's kind of twofold in our association. One is just like we were saying, the education is such a key component of what we offer. And I think it's in maybe a week or 2 weeks, they're actually doing one specific, a brain bus virtual program to risk and fraud in our community, kind of the scams that we've been seeing, information, things to look out for, as well as if you feel like you've been a victim. This is something that you can always reach out to the helpline and maybe just find resources or how to engage. And in my role as a public policy manager, we're always looking for ways that we can tangibly help within that realm specific to our community. So there's so many things federally that they're doing to look out for elder abuse. And we just make sure to be a voice specific to those needs and concerns that those living with Alzheimer's might have underneath that umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
So we just really try to keep our focus on that. And kind of be a voice for them, just saying they have very unique needs and we want to make sure that they're heard under the elder justice umbrella.
What specific caregiver supports are there available?
There are, again, specifically the helpline, which I think is really great within the moment, things that people are going to, maybe you're having an emergency right then and there, and you have no idea who to turn to in your neighborhood or what to do with your loved one in that moment. And I think the helpline is the number one way to go. But also they have support groups, which I think are great. Most of the people in the areas that I work with, they've become kind of like a second family to them. And they're just ways, to kind of come together and just share their frustrations, their hard times with a group of like-minded people. Everyone's journey is very unique when it comes to these diseases. So I think that's a real tangible way. And that's something as well, like the association's taken everything virtually when all this hit, and it's the same with the support group. So if you're looking for one, especially now, I think that's a great, great, great thing for people to get involved in. It's people locally right around you, even if it's virtual. But that's a big part of what we can do to support our caregivers.
How does someone find out more information about the Alzheimer's Association? And
I'm so glad you asked.
Number?
Yes, I mentioned the hotline so many times. So let me give you that number. It is 1-800-272-3900. And I can give that to you, and you can also have that as a resource for whoever might come to you and ask. But that, again, is like one of the best ways if you just, kind of want to get the cheat sheet about what the association does. And also our website, alz.org. If you are just curious, it's a wealth of information on there. It can connect you to different chapters in your area, so you can kind of know who's running those support groups when they are. The educational programs will all be on there. So if you are interested in the research summit that's coming up on June 12th, or you want to learn more about the risk and fraud specific to what we're talking about today at the focus this month, that information will be on there. So those are the first two things I would say to go, the hotline and alz.org.
Will you give us the hotline number one more time?
Yes, happy to. Again, it's 1-800-272-3900.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Jessica. You'll notice that Jessica's wearing purple. It is the color of Alzheimer's Association and Alzheimer's disease awareness. And you'll notice that I'm wearing purple as well. It is also the color of elder abuse awareness. So join us both on June 15th and wear purple. And remember to join us for our virtual event on June 15th. Find out information on our Facebook page. Check out the Alzheimer's Association website and know there are resources out there to help you. Senior Connection Center is happy to have Alzheimer's Association as a partner, a community partner. And we look forward to seeing you at our event on June 15th.